Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to do some drawing today, and we're going to do some practice of some clothing. So I found this little pose here. I thought it was kind of nice and had some nice folds and stuff. So let's get to it here. Doing my gesture really quickly, as you can see. Obviously, I sped this up because all in all, I think it took about 40 minutes or so. So I put it at double time, and hopefully, hopefully you can follow along and pause if you need to. Checking the height of the leg there with the body and making sure I've got the correct proportions, at least on that. That's like the one thing I almost always check. All right, so working on the feet, getting the gesture kind of set up, but it's hard to tell like what's going on until I get the arms in place. And then, like, if you can't see, like, the form underneath all that clothing, because she's got those really big, baggy sleeves, you want to, like, put it there. You want to at least, like, kind of get your basic gesture there to have the form, because that's going to, like, provide places where your clothing is going to hang from. It's going to provide points of tension and all that stuff. So, got to have a little basic structure in there just so you kind of know. It'll look too weird if you didn't have it. It would... it's really easy to misjudge kind of where things sit. So it helps the proportions, helps everything sit right. Okay, let's see. Let's get this hand here. And kind of the sword kind of loosely in place here. All right, and again, you can't really see her back and her, like the sway in her back, but just by kind of looking at, you can see a little bit where what is it? Would that be a girder? I don't know if it's a girder or a massive belt. I'm not sure. The white big thing. Well, you can kind of see a little bit kind of where her back goes in, right? So you have to just kind of have an idea of like what you know about anatomy, what you know about, shapes and everything before that to kind of, maybe fill in some of that information. But not too hard. Again, this is not rocket science. I'm not, but, I'm always teaching at a level slightly, below where I am. I'm All right, here we go. So going a little beyond gesture now, right? So kind of trying to work out some forms. And again, nothing's ever clean. It's not like it's like strictly, even though I teach this way. And if you've gone through some of my lessons, you'd see, I teach gesture drawing first, and then we do the shapes, and then we do the muscles, and then we do the clothes. Those are just steps to kind of break things up, but everything's more fluid than that. And kind of merges together at points. But the general principle is the same. I do want to kind of not go overboard in one area, in one detailed area, before I've kind of got it all kind of worked out, to the same level. At least that's the goal. All right. So again, you could, as I'm saying that, hitting a little detail here, getting some forms that I like. And then the neglected head. Oh yeah, I like to do that first. I just got caught up on everything else. So I hate to leave the head to the end of any stage because, man, that's the most important thing. So let's see if I can get it right here. Kind of get something that at least kind of resembles her. She's got a really nice, gentle face. All right, just kind of try and capture the profile a little bit there at least. And this is a drawing I did live in class, so it's always like a race against the clock, right? Because obviously class is a certain amount of time, but also how much time do I want to spend on something, or to force students to spend on something is kind of more the issue before it won't be good, right? If you spend too much time on something on practice, then you could draw maybe two other drawings between the time you spend on one. So that's always my thought. More is better, I guess, when practicing, right? Quantity over quality to some degree, for at least practicing drawing. All right, so starting to get the clothes on now and see if I can work out like where the folds are and everything. And when doing folds, I mean, it's not in clothing. I've never found it vital to draw anything exact, to just get the idea. And it's super helpful to look at like reference here like this, right? Because it informs a lot of decisions of how cloth acts, which can kind of sometimes be hard for me at least, or, to think about it. You just get ideas when you look at reference that you wouldn't have without it. All right, so roughing out the pommel, and then kind of the legs. Neglected the legs, right? So working down here. And the boot looks funny on that her left leg. It almost looked like a knee sticking out when I was looking at it. I'm like, does she have a really knobby knee? And it's not, right? That's the front part of the boot that's kind of popped out there. All right, well, time to erase. I think I've got enough information. And now to get to, my final lines. So I'm going to knock it all back. All right, here we go. Got my darker pencil here. Okay, going to see if I can now kind of nail down this little profile here. The lips and the chin. Most important part, the eyes. All right, let's get some hair on top of that head there. Got that nice little part which kind of gives us, where it flows from. The hair's flowing from. All right, and here's our ear. So I better use a ruler for the sword. So, I roughed it out in the beginning and then realized, I just got to grab a ruler at some point and get some lines. So hoping to kind of nail this in the right. I love these Prismacolor pencils that I always use, but they don't erase. They're erasable, but they don't erase the best. Like those, the black will still leave a nice little something there. So again, not the end of the world, but don't want to have to erase it if I don't have to. All right, now I can kind of work around the sword there. All right, just a few lines here in the hair. Just want to kind of get some detail and some form, really, not really detail. All right, then I got the shoulder kind of overlapping the sword here, then going down into that fold, a big old round fold down there. All right, let's see if we can get this fold on the outside, or this round part there. Okay, a little bit of detail there on the back of the hair, just to make it a little darker. Just kind of separate it a little bit. All right, and then I got this shirt here. It's got this like elasticy part or something, right, with the seam, and everything kind of comes out of there. All the big, I don't know what to call those kind of folds. Almost like pipe folds, I guess. If you've, I don't know, maybe if you've gone through the fold lesson I did some time ago, these kind of pipe folds, but then they kind of like stop and get pinched in the bottom there. All right, we got a big old billow on this sleeve here. The big like half lock looking fold there. And then everything kind of bunches and at the sleeve. There's a like little deep area there where it kind of really folded in on itself. And then on the top part under the neck there, it's got all these little like little folds, right? Like these little I wouldn't even know, like folded over kind of little, almost like spiral folds, but they're just really small. There's a bunch of the material there. All right, in the back here, we got a lot going on. As it kind of billows out towards the lower back, and then, gets cinched back in with that belt girder thing, whatever, that's what we'll call that. I'm sure somebody knows what that is and can help me out. All right, get some folds there and have them kind of bunch under. And I'll add some value to this, but not a ton, just enough to kind of get some information. All right, and now this sleeve over here. And this hand here is pretty cool. I don't know, something I like about it, the angle. Let's get the hilt first. And this hand kind of underneath it. I don't know, I like the way that the pinky fingers are kind of stretched out more than the top. Let's see if I can kind of get it kind of like that. And the rest of the handle there and the pommel below. So anywhere you can like find some obvious dark areas to add, I mean, I'm always a big fan. Again, not that I spent too much time rendering this or anything, but even just a pommel. It's nice to have contrast in your drawings. All right, there's my belt thing. Little seam there. And all the little holes there for the lace, shoelace kind of thing, but not a shoe. Belt lace, that's what it is. All right, and here's our other little sleeve area. It's funny, like in, I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but in drawings, as I'm looking at myself draw here, there's always like little things that, I guess something that interests me in a pose or something that it makes me want to draw it. And in this one, it's her hand on the sword, although I don't like the way I drew it so much, and her face and the little profile. I think she has a little nice face. I don't know, it could be anything. It could be the stance, it could be the muscles on the leg, or it could be anything. But there's always like something that grabs me that I just want to capture or try to capture at least, you know. And strangely on this one, it's that hand on the hilt and the face is obvious, right? The face is, I don't know, something nice about the nose, the swoop of the nose and stuff. All right, well, we're working on the legs. Back to the legs. But yeah, I don't know. That's what grabbed me about this photo was the hand holding the sword in the face. Strange thing to be the hand, but I don't know. I like the way it looks. All right, try to get these boots here. And then all these little spirals on the tight pants, right? She has this billowing shirt, and then she has this like super, you know, obviously tight, leathery looking pants here, which gives us all these little spiral folds. And again, looking for that shadow that I can add, that dark value that just, it makes the drawings look like it did something more complete, right? If you don't add the value, it just well, it's a figure ground relationship, right? It's your figure against the ground is there's no contrast, right? So the value, just even adding the shadow here on the legs, just gives that a little bit of something to give it a little bit of figure against the white background, right? Because if I don't have that, I've just got, you know, white pants on a white background, or white, you know, shirt on a white background and white skin, you know, because, you know, so yeah, anytime. Which is what's really cool. I think a lot of comic book artists do a great job of adding those dark values to make things like pop. My favorite is the Hellboy comic artist. I think he's like so good at those really big, bold, dark shapes. Mignola, I think. Michael Mignola. I'm blanking on his name. I mean, I know his name. I've seen it a million times, but I've never pronounced it. I just always read it. But I think it's Mignola. That's how you say it. But yeah, he's awesome. All right, just continue some of these little spirals. Those give us nice little dark values there with the spirals. And here we go with the boot. Kind of hard to see under the little watermark there. Well, I say little, but there's nothing little about it. Arm Street. So I did find this photo off Pinterest, but obviously it comes from something called, I think, Arm Street. I did cut the picture slightly just to make it easier to show the drawing in the at the same time as a photo. So crop this slightly just to make it easier to see. All right, trying to make sure I get this boot looking like it's the facing away, right? That foot is facing away from us. Little seam in the back here, you can see. You can see little little folds there, so it's somehow cinched together there on that seam. Get some dark value in there. There, trying to get those little seams there. And want to add some value to this side too, and maybe show a little bit. You can kind of see those on the profile foot. You can kind of see a little bit of those little tension marks by the seams. All right, little darkness on the front there of that boot, you can see in the photo. So that's a good place to add some dark value. All right, there we are. Hopefully you guys are able to draw along and pause as you need to. That's what I hopefully make these for, so you guys can draw with me. And hopefully see you guys on the next video. Hope you enjoyed.